Serbia is exposed to many different risks, many different hazards, floods being perhaps the largest, but not the only. Last summer we have had devastating droughts, for instance, droughts that have caused the damage that we're still trying to assess, but some preliminary assessments are indicating that the damage may reach up to 1 billion euros only this year. In addition to this, we have very often hailstorms, especially during springtime, which greatly affects small farmers and fruit producers. 1/3 of the territory of the country is under the risk of landslides. Earthquakes as well. With earthquakes is a bit different because risk of earthquakes is limited to only one very small part of the country. And in 2014 we have had devastating floods, floods of epic proportions that have affected 2/3 of the territory of the country. And those floods served as a wake-up call of the sort. And immediately after we have started dealing with the effects of the floods, we have started shifting our focus toward prevention, from recovery and reconstruction to prevention. And over the past 3.5 years, we have made considerable progress on the disaster risk management question. Serbia has passed a strategic document, the National Disaster Risk Management Program. The government has also passed the action plan for the implementation of the disaster risk management program. We have adopted the disaster risk financing strategy. We're working on the strengthening of the capacity of the bodies that are involved either in the recovery and reconstruction or bodies that are responsible for the disaster risk management. We have drafted the disaster risk management and crisis management law, and the passage of this law is now pending in the Serbian parliament. So many different steps, systemic as well as structural, that have considerably improved our capacity to prevent disasters as well as dealing with the effects of disasters if they, God forbid, happen.
Okay, so you have a fixed national DRR strategy, let's say, in your country. Do you think there are obstacles that can prevent Serbia in this field?
There are always obstacles, and doing the disaster risk management work is never easy. When disaster occurs, there are resources that are made available for the recovery and reconstruction, but as soon as the effects of disasters start to fade, the memory of the disaster starts to fade along with them. We depend on the politicians, we depend on the government, and often government has other priorities. It is very difficult to have the government think about the prevention during so-called peaceful times, when no disaster is in sight. And this is perhaps what represents the greatest obstacle of all. Doing this kind of work is hugely frustrating because you never have enough resources that you need. And key resources are obviously money and time. And you never have enough money and you never have enough time, or at least not as much as you need them. Time is not our friend. Actually, time is our enemy, because some of the measures with the disaster risk management is in question take a lot of time, especially, for instance, where floods are concerned. Building of infrastructure, preventive infrastructure, takes years to construct, and often tens of millions of euros, and there is always a great deal of frustration that is attached, and a great deal of obstacles that are attached to the performing of this type of work.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.